All right, they're asking me to solve this rational equation. Okay, I have an equal sign, so I know it's an equation, and I'm calling it a rational equation because I have these big fractions, which we know are rational expressions. So the way that we solve a rational equation is we are going to use our LCD magic wand to get rid of all of my denominators. Okay, do you like fractions? I didn't think so. So we can get rid of all of our fractions in one step. Okay, we're going to use the LCD magic wand. Okay, and what happens is we multiply everything times the LCD and our denominators will poof, go away. So let's find the LCD. I know that I have x plus 10 here. That's one of my denominators. And x squared minus 100 here. That's another one of my denominators. So the first thing I want to do is understand all my denominators. I want to factor this right here, the x squared minus 100. And that is the difference of two squares. Okay, factor in a binomial. And when I factor it, I'm going to get x plus 10, x minus 10. Okay, so I'm just going to replace this x squared minus 100 with x plus 10, x minus 10. Okay, now my LCD is going to have x plus 10 in it, and then it's also going to have the x minus 10. Now, I don't need to do this one twice because it's already in there. All right, is this enough to make all of my denominators cancel out? Yes, it is. So we're going to multiply everything times that LCD. Okay, this side times x plus 10, x minus 10. This fraction times x plus 10, x minus 10. And most importantly, the right-hand side times x plus 10, make a little space, x minus 10. Okay, get rid of this. All right, now let's watch our denominators disappear. When I multiply this over here, the x plus 10 and the x plus 10, in the numerator and denominator will reduce, cancel out. So I'm left with 1 times x minus 10. All right. 1 times anything is just itself, so I'm left with x minus 10. Plus, now for the second one, for the second term, x plus 10s cancel out, x minus 10s cancel out, and I'm left with just 20. And it equals, and then over here I have 1 times x plus 10 times x minus 10. So when I multiply this out, I am going to get x squared minus 100. Okay, foil this out, and then the middle two terms will cancel out. You know what? I'll do it over here real quick. X squared plus 10x minus 10x minus 100. All right, x squared minus 100. All right, now I have a quadratic equation. Okay, it's got an equal sign, it's got a square, it is a quadratic equation. So I go through my steps of solving a quadratic equation. I want to get everything to the same side. I want to get it equal to 0. So in order to do that, let's subtract the x, so there's no more x on the left. We'll add the 10, so there's no more 10 on the left, and we'll subtract the 20, so there's no more 20 on the left. Okay, yeah, I could have put these together, but I didn't. On the right-hand side, I am going to subtract an x, add a 10, and subtract a 20. All right, x minus x is 0, negative 10 plus 10 is 0, 20 minus 20 is 0. So the left-hand side equals 0, which is exactly what I want when solving a quadratic equation. Now the right-hand side, I have x squared minus x, and then I put my three constants together, negative 100 plus 10 minus 20, and that's going to give me negative 110. All right, now let's try to factor this. So it is an easy 1. It starts with the number 1. So we have 0 equals x and x. Two numbers that multiply to give me 110 and subtract to give me 1. And that's going to be 10 and 11. And it has to be a plus 10 and a minus 11. Okay, if you need a little work on factoring a trinomial, you can look that up. And now we see that either one of these can be 0. This could be 0 or this can be 0. If 0 times anything is 0, right? Same thing the other way around. 0 times anything is 0. So my first factor equals 0. X plus 10 equals 0. Now I'll set my second factor to equal 0. X minus 11 equals 0. I'll solve this by subtracting 10 on both sides. So x equals negative 10. There's a 10 right there. And then I'll solve this one by adding 11 to both sides. And x equals 11. Now I have two possible answers, but I need to make sure that one of these, because it's a rational equation, because I have a denominator, I need to make sure that neither one of these will give me a 0 in the denominator. I have two restrictions on this problem. What would give me a 0 right here? Well, the only thing that would give me a 0 is if I plugged in a negative 10 right here. All right, I need to get a better color. If I plugged in a negative 10, it would give me a 0, so x cannot be negative 10. What about for this one? I would plug in a negative 10 there, and I'd plug in a positive 10 here. If I plugged in a positive 10, the denominator would be 0, so x cannot be a positive 10 either. And when you look at your answer, guess what? I have to throw this one out because it would have given me a 0 in my original problem. So the answer for this question is x equals 11. 11 is the only number in the world that would give you a true statement for your original problem.